can't help it. I have to start it this way. Hello, my friends. How are you today? I hope that you've had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And check it out. I got a new hat. It's Steamboat Willie. So, during Thanksgiving weekend, my wife and I took a little trip down to Disneyland. And even though we didn't get to go to Disneyland proper, we did get to go into a little bit of California Adventure, the main Buena Vista Street area. And it was absolutely awesome to get to do. We, not having the rush of the rides, really changed the dynamic of how we took a look at the park. We were able to look at the details and find new things. I found a new hat. And I was just in love with the fact that the spirit of Disney is still maintained, and I really hope that once this pandemic is over, that everything will go back to normal. As well as, in addition to Buena Vista Street, downtown Disney is open. Basically, you're looking at most of the retail of the bulk of Disney that is still open, that is allowing people to help satiate the itch to go to Disney, and as well keep a little bit of revenue coming in for Disney to be able to, when the pandemic is over, everything hopefully will open up and they'll be able to get most of their workers back, and we'll put this whole thing behind us. In the meantime, there have been some awesome updates to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I just can't help myself but to do a quick flyover of Hoover Dam and Las Vegas. If you go back to my original Microsoft Flight Simulator video where I flew over Las Vegas in the original Flight Simulator 10, and then I flew over in the brand new Flight Simulator 2020, they have recently updated Microsoft Flight Simulator, and they also put extra detail into Las Vegas, and they carefully remodeled and made as photo-symmetrical as possible the Hoover Dam area. So we're going to go take a quick look at that, and here we go. As I've said before, this game continually amazes me at the sheer quality of and feel that the game has been able to produce, even though this is just a reproduction based off of altitude data and satellite imagery. For the most part, most of the planet comes in okay. Areas like this one do need to be rendered more carefully and more by hand because the satellite data just doesn't quite capture it. But much to my surprise, even with the generalizations that are made by the GPS data and the photos that are taken and everything, this still comes out shockingly beautiful every single time. Let's move over to Las Vegas. During the same flight, I just cut out all the extra stuff. As we approached Las Vegas, I realized, they also made updates to the nighttime visual of Las Vegas. So right now I'm showing off the fact that you can change live the positioning of the sun and the daytime, nighttime rendering. And we're going to fly through Las Vegas at night. Even with the optimizations that they've done so far, you can see on the stratosphere that there are levels and lighting on the tower that doesn't exist. Oops, that shouldn't happen. Then we will continue on. We'll be able to see pretty clearly all the hotels that are along here. And it's even funny that this hotel that's just off to the left of the aircraft is a hotel that was in the process of being built and is still not finished. It was abandoned 2 or 3 times now by several different investors, and Las Vegas hasn't been able to find anybody who has enough money to finish this project and open it up as a living hotel, quote unquote, because it is just a dead weight on Las Vegas right now. It does look like it has slowly progressed over the years, but it has been unfinished for many years now. There's Circus, which looks pretty good for their nighttime rendering of it. And as another thing that I noticed in this flyby is the trees that were kind of prevalent the first time I flew by have been reduced and brought down to more normal positioning based off of what they really did show up as in Las Vegas. But even at night, you can definitely tell that these hotels are showing up a lot better. I have been to cut out a little bit of the extra fat of this video to make it a little bit more enjoyable to see. But we are progressing through. We just passed the Treasure Island, and I'm sorry, the Mirage, and it's interesting to see that all the shapes of the buildings do resemble what I vividly remember of passing through Las Vegas and having visited Las Vegas several times. This is a sad one. The Bellagio does not have a fountain presentation going. Maybe that's going to be something in the future. The Paris looks great. That Eiffel Tower looks phenomenal. And as we go past the Aria, we will, well, I'm going to nearly run into the Aria, but the shapes of the buildings match very closely to what I remember. And I'm kind of architecturally minded, so I remember the buildings in Las Vegas very well because I've enjoyed seeing the buildings and the creations and how they work and how they've been able to play with the laws of physics. Then we've got New York, which isn't lit up very well, and I think that kind of demeans that situation. And then, oh my, this Excalibur looks phenomenal. I'm going to do a quick fly through. It looks like very little of this was left out and was modeled or rendered incorrectly. Now we'll go over to the illustrious Luxor, and I will just barely... I want to see the Sphinx, so I wanted to get on this side of it. Wow, they did a good job at that, and I like the beam coming out of the top now. The Sphinx isn't that bad either. And then Mandalay Bay, and that will conclude our newly updated tour of Las Vegas within Microsoft Simulator. So I think that these updates are great and that they are doing excellent things with Microsoft Flight Simulator more specifically, and what they have done already is great. If you noticed, I had a different color aircraft. I have not bought any extra aircraft. I actually figured out how to join a Discord for free that had a download that would allow me to have like 300 plus different colors for a variety of the aircraft in Flight Simulator, and that was my favorite color of the hour. So I decided to go with that for the Icon A5 that I flew during this particular flight. I think that these updates are fantastic. They are going in good directions. They are making Microsoft Flight Simulator grow and become better. They've already updated Japan. They've upgraded the United States. Hopefully that's not an ended project. They'll probably come back to the United States again. I've heard that the UK is next. I think that's what they said. Or Europe. I don't know if it's Europe and UK or UK. But additionally, by the end of the month, theoretically, we will have VR support, which will be really fun to be able to have a headset on and look around the aircraft and be able to punch in buttons. It will require that I be inside the aircraft more, which I'm not against, but I have very much enjoyed being on the outside of the aircraft. I've enjoyed having you guys join me on this adventure today, and I hope that the footage that I've been able to share with you told a good story, and that more stories will come in the future. Like and subscribe if you like this video, and hopefully we'll have more that will be on your particular wavelength for the future. I love talking about Disney. I love doing computer games, and I love doing 3D printing, so there's a variety of things that I'm going to rotate on. I really like finances, but I'm having a hard time talking about finances right now, and I don't know why. But that's not to say it won't be in the future. That's all I've got for you. Have a wonderful day.